Welcome, Graham.
All right. Welcome. Sorry, not welcome. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. Happy to speak to you all on this topic. I'm here representing myself. I'm an architect here in town, a father of 3 children. I have a small business, and I'm a Ward 1 resident. Further, my wife was born and raised in Westdale. I'd like to start my presentation by just listing a few facts as I see them. Population growth in Ontario is shifting to cities. Great cities have public transit. Public transit provides mobility, equalizer. Traffic is going to increase in Hamilton with or without LRT as our population grows. Rapid Ready always contemplated a phased build-out. The B line was identified and approved by Council as the preferred. The B line construction project includes upgrades to services that without this project become costs that will be borne by City of Hamilton taxpayers. LRT money cannot be used for other transit projects or shift 7 years to build the ridership projections required. The work to build LRT is underway. We are in the implementation phase and tens of millions of dollars have been spent or committed. Public transit spurs growth at stations and along transit lines. This is very much in evidence in other cities. The HSR has been chronically underfunded, and those that say that we should just be increasing funding to HSR, I think are in for a nasty surprise, as we haven't seen that sort of commitment made over the years. To date, the LRT project has met every deadline and is currently on schedule, and if Council does not receive and submit the environmental amendment to the province, our schedule will be in jeopardy. But this project isn't for us. This project is not for me, it's for the future of Hamilton. These facts that I list are simply facts. They're dry, they're uninspiring, and susceptible to being called alternate. So what I want to do is talk to you about myself, talk to you about my experiences in the past few years, and talk to you about my kids. I have 3 short stories. I grew up in the country on a hobby farm where my father was a veterinarian. I didn't have a car, I didn't have a license until I was 16, and when I got that license, I was free. I was able to go visit my friends, go into Hamilton, into Burlington, and get out. Sure, we're in the country, we're 20 minutes from anywhere, but that was me getting out. For my children, I see a very different future. It'll be a bus pass and a bicycle. I took my family to Montreal with my wife, to my first time to another city, with all 3 kids, for my 10-year reunion at McGill. The kids were 5, 4, and 2, and we rented an apartment and set up our home base in there. We parked the car, and we didn't touch the car for the next 4 days. We took the bus that was 2 blocks away to the subway, and using the transit network that exists in Montreal, we explored the. You might say, Hamilton isn't Montreal. Montreal has 1.7 million people. It had a subway that was built for Expo 67. How are we going to asking for is that the blast network that we have approved and at this point, this is where I want to talk to you about a guy I like to call Future Graham. Future Graham, he's a nice guy, but Future Graham is the guy I leave things up to. Future Graham's the guy that has to wash the dishes in the morning because President Graham was too tired. Future Graham's the guy that scrapes the ice off the car because President Graham was too cold. Future Graham's the guy that says, the instruction, because President Graham said, weekly what it feels like to arrive at that. So I'm here to say that I don't want future Hamilton, the Hamilton for my kids and that the city that my children will grow up in, to look back at this time and say, what was past Hamilton thinking? I urge Council to maintain your continued support for LRT, to receive the amendment to the environmental report, and to continue on public transit in Hamilton a reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Graham. Councillor Farr.
As President Self, I'd future yourself 20 years from now with my young son being close to 25, asking what the hell were you thinking? So thank you for that presentation. Brilliant. Through you, you're an architect.
Correct.
You've obviously are a big supporter, but you're also a downtown businessman, is that right?
That's correct.
Can you give us a sense on where you're coming from with respect to how the addendums that are here and the EAs that have been done and how they reflect past EAs still sees you maintaining solid support, Graham, for this project?
So my understanding is these EAs are respecting a stop at Bay Street and also the the A-line BRT, is that correct? So I would say simply that anytime that a transit system is adding stops, increasing the connectivity, you're going to have a more successful system. And I see the amendments as proposed for the Bay Street stop and for the BRT only strengthening the proposal that is going before us.
And a strong proposal, if we focus on the millennials who have been focused on, and I'm not sure if you're one or not, but you're probably close, to this end and moving in the fashion that we set out to move in with to our advantage. Would you suggest it's to our advantage to continue to